I think I have to go my own way.
What the fuck, dude? We've been here doing this for 14 years.
The last 5 felt like 20.
That is definitely something I didn't expect.
For nearly a decade, Richard Rawlings and Aaron Kaufman were the ultimate automotive duo. The faces that transformed Gas Monkey Garage from a small Dallas shop into a global phenomenon. Their chemistry on Discovery Channel's Fast and Loud captivated audiences worldwide, combining Rawlings' business savvy and showmanship with Kaufman's mechanical genius and meticulous craftsmanship. Together, they turned rusted relics into rolling masterpieces, built an empire, and brought custom car culture into millions of living rooms. But in 2017, fans were shocked when Kaufman announced his departure from Gas Monkey Garage. The bearded mechanical wizard who had been integral to the show's success was walking away from the spotlight, leaving viewers wondering, what really happened behind the garage doors? For years, rumors swirled about fierce arguments, creative differences, and irreconcilable business conflicts. Now, as the dust settles on one of television's most successful automotive partnerships, the full story of their collaboration and eventual split is finally coming to light. Through exclusive interviews, behind-the-scenes accounts, and revelations from those closest to the pair, we uncover the truth behind the partnership that changed automotive television forever, and why it ultimately had to end. The unlikely beginning. Before they became household names, Richard Rawlings and Aaron Kaufman were just 2 Texas car guys with different backgrounds, but a shared passion. Rawlings, born in Fort Worth in 1969, had entrepreneurial spirit in his blood. By his early 40s, he had already built and sold several businesses, including a printing and advertising company. But cars remained his first love, a passion instilled by his father, who took him to automobile auctions as a child. "I've been a car guy my entire life," Rawlings has often stated. "I bought my first car when I was 14 years old. It was a 1974 Mercury Comet." Kaufman's journey into automotive work followed a different path. Younger than Rawlings by over a decade, the Fort Worth native discovered his mechanical talents early, tinkering with anything he could get his hands on. Self-taught and driven by an almost obsessive attention to detail, Kaufman developed his skills through hands-on experience rather than formal training. Their paths crossed at a local gas station where Kaufman was working. Rawlings had brought in his hot rod for repairs, and watching Kaufman work, he immediately recognized exceptional talent. "I saw this bearded guy working on a car with incredible precision," Rawlings recalled in a 2015 interview. "The way he handled tools, the way he approached problems, I knew instantly he was something special." Impressed by Kaufman's skills and work ethic, Rawlings offered him a job at his newly formed Gas Monkey Garage. It was 2004, and neither man could have predicted the journey they were about to embark on together. "At first, it was just us in a small shop, flipping cars to make a living," Kaufman would later explain. "No cameras, no pressure, just building cars because we loved it." For nearly 8 years, they worked in relative obscurity, building their reputation in the Dallas car scene. Rawlings, always the visionary, began to see potential beyond just fixing and flipping cars. He envisioned a brand, a lifestyle built around automotive culture, with Gas Monkey Garage at its center. The rise to fame. The turning point came in 2012 when Discovery Channel executives, searching for the next hit automotive show, discovered Gas Monkey Garage. The network had struck gold with shows like American Chopper and was looking to expand its automotive programming. In Richard Rawlings, they found the charismatic frontman they were looking for. And in Aaron Kaufman, they discovered the quiet genius who could bring Rawlings' visions to life. Fast and Loud premiered on June 6, 2012, and quickly became one of Discovery's most successful shows. The format was simple, yet captivating. Rawlings would hunt down neglected classic cars, negotiate the purchase, and bring them back to Gas Monkey Garage, where Kaufman and the team would transform them into showpieces to be sold for profit. What made the show stand out was the natural chemistry between Rawlings and Kaufman. Their contrasting personalities, Rawlings loud, ambitious, and business-focused, Kaufman quiet, methodical, and craftsmanship-oriented, created a dynamic that resonated with viewers. "Richard and I are like fire and ice," Kaufman once described their partnership. "He's all about the deal, the brand, the big picture. I'm focused on the details, the integrity of the build, making sure everything is done right." This balance worked perfectly in the early seasons. Rawlings would push the boundaries with ambitious builds and tight deadlines, while Kaufman would ensure the quality never suffered. Together, they created some of the most memorable custom cars on television. As Fast and Loud gained popularity, Gas Monkey Garage expanded rapidly. What began as a small operation transformed into a multi-million-dollar enterprise with merchandise, branded products, and eventually Gas Monkey Bar and Grill locations. Rawlings, with his marketing background, was the driving force behind this expansion. "We built Gas Monkey Garage from nothing into something people recognize worldwide," Rawlings stated proudly in a 2016 interview. "That doesn't happen by accident. It takes vision and hard work." For Kaufman, the fame came as something of a shock. The quiet fabricator suddenly found himself recognized everywhere he went, with fans obsessing over his beard and tattoos almost as much as his fabrication skills. "I never expected to be on TV," he admitted in a rare personal interview. "I just wanted to build cool cars. The fame was never part of my plan." The growing tensions. As Fast and Loud continued its successful run, the demands of television production began to take their toll on the Gas Monkey operation. What had once been a garage focused on quality custom builds was now a television set with cameras constantly rolling and deadlines dictated by production schedules rather than craftsmanship requirements. By seasons 5 and 6, attentive viewers could spot signs of strain in the once seamless partnership. On camera, Kaufman appeared increasingly frustrated with timelines and build requirements. Off camera, the tension was even more apparent. "The show became bigger than the garage," Rawlings has since reflected. "We had cameras rolling all the time, and the pressure to deliver great TV sometimes outweighed the love for building cars. I think that's where Aaron started to feel like it wasn't for him anymore." For Kaufman, whose priority had always been the quality of the work, the television-driven pace became a source of significant frustration. Sources close to the production revealed that build timelines that would normally take months were being compressed into weeks to satisfy filming schedules. "Aaron was always about the details," explains former Gas Monkey mechanic Tom Smith, name changed to protect privacy. "He wanted every build to be perfect, and sometimes that didn't line up with the fast-paced nature of the show. Richard was focused on meeting deadlines and making good television. It created a fundamental conflict." The contrast in their approaches extended beyond just build philosophies. As Gas Monkey expanded into a lifestyle brand, Rawlings' focus necessarily shifted toward business development, marketing, and expansion opportunities. Meanwhile, Kaufman remained most passionate about being in the garage, hands dirty, creating automotive art. "There were times when the deadlines were just impossible," Kaufman later admitted. "We were working crazy hours trying to get cars ready for TV, and it was exhausting. I loved building the cars, but it got to a point where I had to ask myself, is this still making me happy?" Adding to the tension was the natural evolution of the show itself. Early seasons had focused primarily on the cars and the craftsmanship. As the series progressed, producers pushed for more drama, bigger personalities, and increasingly spectacular builds to keep viewers engaged. "Reality TV has a formula," explains television producer Martin Reynolds, who has worked on several automotive shows. "It needs conflict, personality, and spectacle to maintain ratings. What starts as a documentary about passionate people doing what they love inevitably evolves into something more manufactured." For Kaufman, whose authenticity was central to his identity, this shift toward manufactured drama created discomfort. Though never one to speak negatively about the show that made him famous, his growing unease became apparent to those working closely with him. "You could see Aaron withdrawing," recalls another former Gas Monkey employee. "He'd spend more time focused on particular aspects of builds, almost hiding in the work to escape the cameras. The Aaron who loved just building cool cars was being asked to be a television personality, and that wasn't what he signed up for." The breaking point. By late 2016, the signs of Kaufman's growing dissatisfaction were impossible to ignore. During filming of season 12, tensions reached a breaking point during a particularly challenging build, a 1973 Pontiac Firebird with an impossibly tight deadline. "That Firebird build was where everything came to a head," reveals a production crew member who witnessed the conflict. "Aaron wanted 3 more days to perfect the suspension setup. Richard, under pressure from the network to deliver the episode on schedule, insisted they wrap it up immediately. The argument that followed wasn't entirely captured on camera, but it was clear to everyone present that something fundamental had broken in their partnership. Though both men maintained professional composure on camera, behind-the-scenes discussions about Kaufman's future at Gas Monkey had begun. For Kaufman, the decision to leave had been building for months, perhaps years. "I needed to build the way I wanted to build," Kaufman would later explain. "I wanted to work on my own terms without the pressure of TV deadlines and scripted drama." In early 2017, the announcement that shocked fans finally came. Aaron Kaufman would be leaving Gas Monkey Garage and Fast and Loud. The bearded mechanical genius who had become synonymous with the brand was walking away at the height of the show's popularity. The public statements from both men remained cordial and professional. Rawlings expressed support for Kaufman's decision, while emphasizing that Gas Monkey would continue strong. Kaufman spoke respectfully of his time at the garage, while expressing excitement about new independent ventures. But fans sensed there was more to the story than these diplomatic statements suggested. Social media buzzed with theories about bitter arguments, disputes over money, and irreconcilable creative differences. The truth, as is often the case, was both simpler and more complex than the rumors suggested. The aftermath and new beginnings. Following his departure from Gas Monkey Garage, Aaron Kaufman wasted no time establishing his own identity in the automotive world. In 2017, he launched ArcLight Fabrication, a company specializing in parts for Ford F-100 pickup trucks, a passion project that allowed him to focus on quality and craftsmanship away from television cameras. Starting ArcLight was about getting back to basics, Kaufman explained at the time. "It's about building things the right way, without compromises." Kaufman didn't stay away from television entirely, however. Later in 2017, he returned to Discovery Channel with Shifting Gears with Aaron Kaufman, a new series that gave him creative control and allowed him to tackle ambitious builds on his own terms. Though the show lasted only one season, it was followed by Aaron Needs a Job in 2019, which showed Kaufman exploring different facets of automotive and mechanical industries. For Richard Rawlings, the departure of his longtime right-hand man necessitated significant changes at Gas Monkey Garage. New team members were brought in, and the show's format evolved to focus more on Rawlings' personality and business acumen. Fast and Loud continued successfully without Kaufman, though many fans felt the show had lost something essential. The chemistry that had defined the early seasons couldn't be replicated, despite Rawlings' continued charisma and the technical skills of the new team members. Beyond the show, Rawlings continued expanding the Gas Monkey empire. The Gas Monkey Bar and Grill locations became popular venues for live music and events, while Gas Monkey merchandise found its way into retail stores across the country. Rawlings also pursued other television opportunities, including game shows and appearances on other Discovery programs. "Business is always evolving," Rawlings stated in a 2018 interview. "You can't get stuck in the past. Gas Monkey has always been about moving forward, finding new opportunities, and staying relevant." Though their professional paths diverged, both men found success in their separate ventures. Kaufman established himself as a respected independent builder and fabricator, while Rawlings cemented his position as one of the most recognizable personalities in automotive entertainment. The real story behind the split now, with several years of perspective since their professional separation, a clearer picture has emerged of what really led to the end of television's most famous automotive partnership. Contrary to some of the more dramatic rumors, there was no single explosive argument or irreconcilable feud that drove Kaufman away from Gas Monkey Garage. Rather, it was a gradual divergence of priorities and visions, a classic case of two talented individuals growing in different directions. "I respect Aaron and what he wanted to do," Rawlings has recently stated, addressing the split more candidly than before. "He wanted to build cars his way without the constraints of a TV schedule or production deadlines. I get it. We had different visions, and at some point, you have to follow your passion." For his part, Kaufman has maintained a similar perspective, acknowledging the different approaches that ultimately made their continued partnership untenable. "Richard is an incredible businessman. He knows how to make a deal and turn a profit," Kaufman revealed. "But when it came to the builds, we had different priorities. For me, it was always about the quality of the work. For Richard, it was about making sure the deal made sense. That's not a bad thing. It's just different approaches. Those closest to both men confirmed that there was never any personal animosity driving them apart. Rather, it was the inevitable result of success pulling them in different directions. Rawlings toward broader business opportunities and entertainment, Kaufman toward specialized craftsmanship and technical innovation. They're like two sides of a coin, explains a longtime friend of both men. They complemented each other perfectly for a time, but eventually, they each needed to pursue their own path. Richard is a born entrepreneur, always looking for the next big thing. Aaron is an artist focused on perfecting his craft. Both approaches are valid, but they don't always work together long-term. The pressures of television production, with its constant demand for drama and spectacle, only accelerated this natural divergence. What began as a genuine documentary about car guys doing what they loved evolved into something more manufactured, creating tension for someone as authentically craftsmanship-focused as Kaufman. Television changes everything, notes industry veteran and automotive journalist Mark Thompson. The minute cameras start rolling, the dynamic shifts. What works for great TV doesn't always work for great car building. Rawlings adapted to that reality better than Kaufman, who just wanted to build amazing cars, regardless of whether it made compelling television. Perhaps most telling is how both men have spoken about each other since the split. Despite opportunities to criticize or assign blame, both have consistently expressed mutual respect and appreciation for what they accomplished together. At the end of the day, I'll always respect Aaron for what he brought to Gas Monkey, Rawlings has stated. He's one of the best in the business. Similarly, Kaufman has maintained his respect for his former partner. Richard is still out there doing his thing, and I respect that. I just had to do my own thing. At the end of the day, we both love cars. We just approach them differently. Legacy of a partnership. As time passes, the significance of the Rawlings-Kaufman partnership in automotive entertainment history becomes increasingly clear. Together, they changed how Americans viewed car restoration, bringing a once niche hobby into mainstream consciousness. Before Fast and Loud, most automotive shows focused either on high-end exotic vehicles or professional race cars. Rawlings and Kaufman showed that there was beauty, history, and value in the forgotten classics rusting in barns and backyards across America. They democratized car culture, making it accessible to viewers who might never have considered themselves car people. What Richard and Aaron did was show that anyone with passion and determination could participate in this world, explains automotive historian Daniel Morrison. You didn't need millions of dollars or special connections. You needed knowledge, hard work, and vision. That message resonated with people. The show's format, finding neglected classics, restoring them with a modern twist, and selling them for profit, has been widely imitated since, spawning dozens of similar programs. But none has quite captured the magic of Rawlings and Kaufman working together. Their chemistry was lightning in a bottle, says television producer Jennifer Willis. Richard's business instincts combined with Aaron's craftsmanship created a perfect balance that viewers connected with. You can't manufacture that kind of authentic partnership. For fans, the legacy of their collaboration lives on in the cars they built together. From the '67 Dodge Dart they transformed in the very first episode to iconic builds like the '76 Chevy C10 and the '38 Ford Rat Rod, the Rawlings-Kaufman partnership produced some of the most memorable custom vehicles ever featured on television. More importantly, they inspired a new generation of builders, fabricators, and automotive entrepreneurs. Shops across America have been founded by people who watched Fast and Loud and thought, I could do that. The number of young fabricators who cite Aaron Kaufman as their inspiration is staggering, notes trade school instructor Michael Fernandez. And just as many business-minded car enthusiasts point to Richard Rawlings as their role model. Together, they showed that there are multiple paths to success in the automotive world. What the future holds. Today, both Richard Rawlings and Aaron Kaufman continue to evolve in their separate careers, each remaining true to the aspects of automotive culture that most inspire them. Rawlings has continued to develop the Gas Monkey brand, adapting to changes in the television landscape and exploring new business opportunities. Though Fast and Loud officially ended its run in 2020, Rawlings remains a prominent figure in automotive entertainment, with new projects consistently in development. "I'm always looking ahead," Rawlings stated in a recent interview. Gas Monkey has never been about just one show or one garage. It's a lifestyle brand that will continue to grow and evolve. Kaufman has maintained a lower profile but continues to build his reputation as one of the industry's most respected fabricators. Through ArcLight Fabrication and various independent projects, he has stayed true to his commitment to quality craftsmanship over commercial considerations. "I'm doing exactly what I want to be doing," Kaufman revealed in a rare social media update. "Building what interests me, taking the time to do it right, and learning new skills along the way. That's always been what drives me." Fans continue to speculate about whether the two might ever reunite for a special project or anniversary build. While both men have expressed openness to the possibility, neither seems in a rush to revisit the past. "Never say never," Rawlings says with his characteristic grin when asked about a potential reunion. "We did some amazing things together, and who knows, maybe one day we'll team up again for something big." Kaufman, typically more reserved, offers a similar sentiment. "Richard and I created something special together. That chapter ended, but books can have multiple chapters. We'll see what the future holds." Whatever comes next for these two automotive legends, their impact on car culture and entertainment remains indelible. For a time, they were the perfect team, the businessman and the craftsman, the showman and the artist, creating something greater than either could have achieved alone. "Aaron was the best partner I could have had building Gas Monkey," Rawlings admits with rare sentimentality. "We may have gone different directions, but what we built together, that's forever." As one longtime fan put it in an online comment that resonated with thousands, "The irony is that everyone who watches car shows watches them for the cars. Every show that panders to the fake dramabolics just turns off fans." Perhaps therein lies the ultimate lesson of the Rawlings-Kaufman partnership and its eventual dissolution. In an industry increasingly focused on manufactured drama and artificial conflict, their genuine passion for automobiles was what truly connected with audiences. That authenticity, Rawlings' enthusiasm for the hunt and the deal, Kaufman's dedication to mechanical perfection, was never an act. And while their professional paths ultimately diverged, the legacy of what Richard Rawlings and Aaron Kaufman created together continues to influence how America views, values, and celebrates its automotive heritage. That, more than any television ratings or business success, may be their most important achievement. As one commenter succinctly put it, "Aaron was the show," to which another fan responded, "and Richard was the business." Together they were fast and loud, an automotive partnership for the ages.